Cut to the Chase podcast, guys. Welcome back for another episode of, again, Cut to the Chase podcast. I am your host, Mr. Chase Abel, as you guys probably already know by now. And if you don't, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Please, before we get into the episode today, I just want you guys, if you can, go to YouTube and hit subscribe, like, and share. That will help the podcast, guys. Again, I'm always appreciative of you guys listening. If you guys can go and just take a quick second, go to YouTube, hit subscribe. That will help the podcast a lot. We love doing the episodes. We love sharing it with you guys. All we ask is that if you can just go do that, that'd be great. That'd be very helpful. And we also are on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast platforms. So wherever you guys listen to podcasts, just put in Cut to the Chase and see, do your thing. Pretty easy directions. We don't like to give any directions on this podcast. You do what you want. Yeah. You know what? That's a great thing. I wish that was like said to me at an earlier age with conviction. Just do what you want. The way I grew up was like, no, you can't do that. Don't do that. Life would be so much easier. People were like, hey, do what you want. Actually, no. Actually, I think life would be actually a lot more crazier if you let people do what they want. Everything I said up until that point, guys, don't take my word for it. I'm just talking things out. Weather's getting warm. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Beautiful, nice day in Boston, Massachusetts. I walked over to the studio. Hopefully you guys checked out our last episode, the new studio episode with me and Nicky Neighborhoods. We have moved into an eloquent Phoenician studio of some sort. There's boxes. There's a cooler. There's an AC cooler in here. It's the AC that doesn't actually like you connect to your window. It's one of those like tube ACs. I got to talk about Nicky about that. I got to see, what's going on with that. I never had those tube AC types. But it looks like it's a heavy duty one. It looks like it's from Amazon or Svedka. Svedka, the vodka. Yeah. It looks like the people who made that was the marketing distribution team for Svedka. Like Marlboro? Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully you guys, wherever you're at in the country or the world, who knows, we might have some listeners in other countries. Hopefully you guys are having some good weather. You're getting out there. Before I started the podcast, I was stretching in front of the building. I didn't tell Nicky Neighborhoods this. I texted him. He told me a time to come over to record. But I was actually a little early. So I started stretching in front of his building. People were coming out. They were looking at me. A couple people were looks of concern. Some were looks of they wanted to join. Some were, I don't know. They just walked by and said hi. So I did a little bit of stretching. I texted Nick. I said, hey, I'm walking over. Let me know when you're good. He says, I'm ready. Walk over. I text him 30 seconds later and I said, I'm here. So I initially lied. I was already here for a half hour. Yeah, just, look in the neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. I like it, Sometimes it makes me think I should not want to leave Boston, though, when I'm in this neighborhood. Yeah. That's the thing, man, because I'm always conflicted about moving out of Boston when I come into these areas, because I'm like, oh, Boston is so beautiful with the old buildings and the weather and the non-pressure of people like New York City that me and Nicky talked about before on other episodes. If you guys have never been to Boston, you guys do have to come at some point. It's a very, very easy city to get around. You can walk Boston. I think it's only like about 5.5 mile radius. 6. You can visit every neighborhood in a day. Yeah. I think you can visit every neighborhood in Boston within a day. And right on the coast, the Atlantic Ocean's right there. So if you want to just leave America, you can. Just go east. and keep going. I could promise you, no one will follow you. No one will follow you. When I used to swim in the Salem Willows, Forest River Park, in 1993, there was a saltwater pool. You guys ever went to an outdoor community saltwater pool park? That was in Forest River Park in Salem, Massachusetts. And there used to be horseshoe crabs down there. There used to be like, and then what they would do is just lift up a little door and all the water from the ocean would just come in. It was all salt water. And they would put like chlorine in there. And I'm thinking like, this is probably the only saltwater pool in the country. I'll talk to Nicky about that. Yeah, I'll talk to Nicky about that later. I never talked to anyone about that. Is swimming in a saltwater community pool, is that something we have to not do? I don't know. We'll figure that out a little later. These are just thoughts that I'm just saying in my head because I don't prepare notes and I'm trying to make certain subject matters to talk about on this podcast. So I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. You know what I committed? You know what I committed to? I committed that I need to read a page a day. I said that this weekend. Like I'm gonna get 3 books, and I'm gonna put it next to my bed. And instead of falling asleep to Instagram or Pornhub, you heard what I said. You fall asleep to Pornhub? I fall asleep to Pornhub. I know it's not like but it's not the way you think, though, ladies and gentlemen. I don't go through each reel. Like I don't do anything while I'm watching porn. I just go through the categories to see if there's like any new categories that come up, and then I fall asleep. Whatever. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to take in the last 5 minutes of the Cut to Chase podcast. But yeah, what else is going on with myself? I started training. I started up my training days. I'm starting up to 3 days a week now. Summertime is here, so I'm trying to lose some of the little gut that I got. Working out hard, drinking a lot of water. Trying to drink 64 ounces a day. I think that's the average daily water intake for people. I don't do that. I probably do half of that, and it's so terrible. But I do want to know exactly, and we'll probably put up a question on Instagram. I would like to know, what is the best water out there? And I know that's going to be a tricky fucking subject. A lot of people have their own takes of their water brands. I want to know what's the best water out there. I just want to know. Is it Essentia? I've been seeing Essentia around. A lot of people saying Essentia because they have certain electrolytes and shit. People say Poland Springs. People say Fiji. People say Smart Water. I just want to know what's the deal. Actually, you know what? Nicky Neighborhoods. I think Nicky, you're the guy to know about this.
I'm chomping at the bit. You could tell I have a couple things, but the best water. First of all, when you're swimming in saltwater pools in 92, pretty sure you're the only one doing that.
There was people there at the pool for sure.
No. I'm saying the people at that pool, that had to have been. That's innovation in 92.
Have you ever heard of that?
I had a saltwater pool. Like I think my parents, like the last house they lived in, it was a saltwater pool there.
So you guys had your own pool and it was saltwater?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
I just want an excuse to play this, by the way. In 92, you were definitely listening to Tony Feels Good swimming in the pool.
Oh, for 100%. 100%.
Of course, I fucked it. Yeah. This is what was playing while Chase was running. Were you a shirt on or a shirt off in the pool, guy?
I was a t-shirt on guy.
T-shirt on guy, yeah.
Because I had titties.
Yeah, well.
Man boobs.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
The best water to drink. There's a guy on TikTok and Instagram. His name is I think it's Water Guru or like Water Sommelier guy. I think he's the Water Guru. So when he does this, he says Evian and Fiji are the 2 best waters that you can drink.
Evian water?
Yeah. You say Evian.
Because, yeah.
Interesting.
The black way.
All right. I'm down with it. Okay. And then Fiji. they say it's because they're natural spring waters, and the rest of the shit is all just a scam.
Okay.
Essentia scam.
Scam?
Yeah. Essentia. None of that stuff works. None of what they say it is what it works. He
How
says
about the Mark Wahlberg and P. Diddy water?
Aqua Hydrate.
Yeah. What about that?
I don't think he reviewed that one. He reviews the waters. He's a little annoying, but you know what water? It kills me every time I see it because it was a big high school basketball water. This is the water that you basically like sponsored every high school in America. Dasani.
Yeah, Dasani is one of these waters that I feel like people really have an opinion about. Mm-hmm. I've always noticed that when I bring up Dasani in a conversation or I'll have a Dasani, the first thing people look at me like, oh, that water's nasty. And I always would wonder why. I'm thinking, oh, it's just water. What the heck's the difference? Why do people freaking have an issue with Dasani?
Because it's tap water. It's just basic tap water. And I think they add salt to it. Like there's like an element of like sodium in it.
Okay.
Now, mind you.
Oh, shit. Here we go, yo.
No, I'm just saying like, it's, only in America would we nitpick water this much.
I know.
It's like the only country that's like, oh, it has a little salt in it. It's tap water.
Right.
It's like, well, yeah, the tap water is still good, right?
Yeah. No,
fuck that. That's how it's like. Now we're spoiled. It's like, yeah, I'll take a Fiji. I go Fiji Evian every time I go to the CVS to get water.
As a member of the Pisces community,
okay,
the water community. As a member of the Pisces community, the water community, and being so that I'm an individual that has been bathed in the Nile River.
Oh, that makes one of us.
I never told you that?
No.
When
I kind of just assumed.
Wow.
That's a compliment.
Is that a...
Yeah. But I could see, after saying it, I could see where it doesn't sound like a compliment.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Well, it kind of... It confused me a little bit. I had to think about it. I was like... Because at first I was going to say thank you. Then I was like...
I forgot after I said that you were from Africa.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, your personality. I could see you finding a way to get bathed in the Nile River.
Personality.
Yeah. But no. Okay. Yes. Chase is actually from there. And yes.
Yeah. So I was used to when I was a kid, a baby, they would take water bucket,
Yeah.
and just take it from the river, the Nile, and I would bathe in it, So I feel like I'm up on my aqua knowledge.
Fair enough.
Okay. And I think that the best water, in my opinion, every time I drink it, it's just good. It's crystal clear. It's Fiji.
Yeah, I know. 100%.
Yeah, I like Fiji.
Natural.
I like Fiji. Yeah.
Natural spring. Mm-hmm. Poland Spring's another good one.
Now, do you drink water room temperature or with ice?
I generally drink it with ice, but I can take it. I'm not one of those people that like flips out about it. But like if I have it in my own home, yeah, I like it in a glass with ice.
I was just about to ask, a glass
in a glass with ice.
You saw me bring that. What about the water that I brought? What about this water?
When I'm that's Evian. That's Evian. That's what we're talking about. Evian.
I gotta read.
It's funny because you said Avion and you had a bottle of Evian, which there is no Avion. So I go. Yeah, that's the one. I'm when I'm in a hotel.
Yeah.
I pour the water into the glass.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, do you do the clink first? Do you do like a?
Oh yeah. Actually, no. It doesn't touch.
It doesn't touch.
Doesn't touch.
All right.
No.
I like touch.
Yeah.
So we would say Fiji number 2, hard 2 if Evian's not in the. No, Fiji
I go Evian 1.
Oh, for you Evian 1?
I go Evian 1.
Bottled.
Glass.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do. I do whatever it comes in.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait. We need to make sure. When you say bottled, In my head, I'm thinking glass bottle.
No.
You're a plastic bottle drinker?
Every once in a while, yeah. If I'm out and it's a hot day and I'm walking by, I'll grab a plastic water bottle.
But you know, glass bottle water is better to be served in a glass jar.
I don't know that to be true, but I believe when you say it. Yeah, it sounds like something you researched.
Okay.
But if I'm out, I'm not trying to carry. I think this is water has become such a status symbol. You know, it's a fashion. It almost pairs with people's outfit. You know, Pellegrino, when they have those green Pellegrino things. I think when comedians go on stage with a full Pellegrino, that's the most hack shit to me. Is like, it's not Cristal. You know, you're not walking on stage with they're kind of flexing, or it's like, look at this big green water bottle that clearly has.
I have one friend, a comedian, that drinks Pellegrino water for sure. But that's because he doesn't drink anymore. Like, he just drinks like.
Oh, and he likes the bubbles.
He likes the bubble.
Yeah. No. That functionally, I get it.
Yeah.
But I think aesthetically, it's a little bit of like because you think of a green bottle, it kind of looks like wine. It kind of looks like champagne. It kind of, it looks a little bit more elevated.
I see. I can see that.
So I think that's kind of like.
Once you become when you get to a level of becoming a headliner, right? There's a thing that's called a binder. I'm sorry, a rider.
Rider contract.
A rider in your contract. It's another word for contract, and you put certain things in there, certain conditions. Depends on who you are. Some people don't really put anything. Some people fucking write a Bible.
Yeah.
I've worked with different types of comedians where it's like,
doesn't Eddie Griffin require like a new pair of Air Force Ones every time he performs, or like something crazy?
In addition to that, not only does he request a pair of fresh Air Force Ones, mids, by the way, he also, as he's opening the box, he wants the song by Nelly to be played in the background too.
That's hysterical.
I got 2 purrs.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
I don't know if he actually asked the song. I would.
I think he does request Air Force Ones at every.
When you become a headliner, or you start performing regularly, and you get to a level where you earn that right to have certain things the way you want. What would be in your rider?
Water, fresh water. I don't want to fuck with tap water at an old theater. I'm not trying to drink out of the tap at the Wilbur.
Okay.
So Evian waters.
Right.
I think, a candle that reminds me of
yes.
That reminds me of my home, my house. Something that calms my stomach down, because every time I perform stand-up, I have to shit. And I don't know what that says about my act, but I think that like the anxiety I get before having to do anything can be quelled by a candle. So water, a candle.
What type of scent on the candle?
Depends on the season, but I would generally say like a clean mint, something energizing.
Like an Earl Grey tea?
Kind of, yeah. Fresh. I don't want it to put me to sleep, but I want it to be kind of like soothing, but also a little, I like a mint or something like that.
Okay.
And then I would say food. I mean, like,
what's the food?
Something easy, definitely bananas.
Pause.
People do like cold cuts, like that, or salmon, and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like a nice fresh salad, maybe.
Okay, so a fresh salad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty simple. You're not really going over the top.
Very simple.
Okay.
Very simple.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think if I was ever to get to that headlining thing, I would also like, I like travel to be a certain way. So I wouldn't want to waste resources on little shit in the green room.
Yeah.
I would want to be like, no. I am staying at this hotel. It has to be this hotel, and it has to be whatever.
Right. Okay.
Affiliation. So that's it. Travel for me is what I value.
So the travel part of it, not so much the actual thing that. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
What about you?
The green room for me? Oh, I mean, listen. It depends on the city. Mm-hmm. So let's say if I'm doing a show in Miami, I want the green room to kind of have an aesthetics of Miami.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, if it's Miami, I want like, as far as for food, I want like food from each city that replicates the fabric of that city.
Interesting.
So if I'm in Miami, let's say I'm at the Miami Improv or whatever, I want Cuban food. From the best local awesome place that's referred.
Got it.
As far as food wise, for snacks, I'm pretty simple on the snacks. Snickers. I'm a big,
wow. Yeah.
Snickers, some Snicker bars, the mini ones, not the big ones.
You don't want to have to deal with a family size Snicker bar before you go on stage.
The king size and family size Snicker bars, that's a lot of pressure when I look at that fucking big stick. Pause.
Yeah. I don't get people that can eat a bunch. I don't like to eat in public. Hot take. I don't like to eat around other people in public.
Well, you eat probably outside on a patio.
Yeah, restaurants and stuff like that. But I generally, like, at my table, I don't like a lot of people around when I eat.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Why? You feel like people looking at you?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, let me eat and then we'll go do whatever we want to do. Well, then we'll go hang.
I see. Are you more of like if you had to pick an outing, are you more of like a dinner outside guy, or more, if you had to choose the better of the two, are you a dinner outside guy or a drink outside guy?
Oh, a drink outside guy. All day, every day. Drink outside.
Drink outside.
I hate eating food outside because I'm not the only one competing for that food, especially in the city. There's birds, there's squirrels, there's rats, there's other people walking on the street. I don't like being in the elements while I'm trying to eat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Africa probably wouldn't be the best place for you.
I feel like I'd struggle there.
There'll be growing pains for sure.
I don't think that I think there would be struggle there. I think for me it would depend on where we're going. But I generally, as picky as I am, I always lead with just open-mindedness and wanting to try things. So I think what I would be excited about is the food.
Food, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be really excited to try the food, and I would try pretty much anything that didn't, aside from like insects. I don't do any sort of.
I don't do that. I got friends that do that shit. They'll eat like I have my boy Randy. I think he went to where did he go?
Somewhere in Asia, probably.
He went to I think it was like Singapore, or one of these places. Thailand. Sorry, I think it was Thailand. And he ate like a scorpion. Like, I was like, man, no, wow. He's one of those guys. He'll try anything too. I'm a little texture. I have to have a certain palate for insects. You gotta have a certain palate for insects.
Yeah, I don't like that texture at all.
Yeah, I think it's called, what the fuck is it called? I think it's people who can have that. It's weird. You can just pick up a rodent and just eat it, or pick up an insect and just eat it.
No.
It's interesting.
No, I like to be able to taste everything on the first bite.
But if you put it with a little bit of hot sauce.
Like if I had to, I would eat it.
Yeah, we generally would.
But I don't want to have to eat anything. I want it to be an enjoyable thing. But like certain meats, I'm trying not to eat as much meat anymore, but like fish.
What do you mean?
I'll eat any fish.
No.
Any fish.
Let's go back to the meat part.
Yeah.
Pause. You are reducing the amount of meat, or you're trying to like steer towards not eating meat at all?
No, I'm
really big. Like,
yeah, no. I was a vegetarian for 5 years, or pescatarian, I should say, not a vegetarian. I was out eat fish.
You was a pescatarian?
I was a pescatarian, not a Presbyterian.
Potatoes.
Same thing, kind
Relax,
of. Kind of the same. When you laugh at your own jokes.
Yeah,
that's so good. It's the hardest I see you laugh is at your own jokes. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Some dishes.
Yeah.
I don't get. Because I think like they're like the worker dishes, I call them, like where it's like, in the olden times in Italy, they would say, all the rich politicians would eat one thing, and then whatever was left went to the workers, the proletariat. So that's, the bits of animals, like
I'd be there all the time.
Pig's head, pig's feet.
That'd be me. That'd be a great position. There's nothing like leftover food. I like leftover food.
Love. Favorite leftover. Top 3 leftover foods.
Buffalo mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Whoa.
What do you think? I ain't coming.
That's a heavy hitter right off the bat.
I'm Pete Rose, kid. Right
I was just about to say you dropped Babe Ruth as your first pick.
Yeah, right off the gate. Not playing around. Buffalo mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. Bomb.
Do you eat it cold?
Yes, if I need to. If
with hot sauce.
Yeah, I don't need hot sauce. It has enough spice in there.
Oh, because it's buffalo. Yeah, okay. Buff mac and cheese, cold.
Yeah. Another takeover food that I love is dark chicken. Like chicken, not turkey, chicken. Mm-hmm. Dark meat though.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm there.
Yeah, I like that with the mac and cheese. By the way.
I kind of like the dark meat more than the regular like white meat that you see all over the place.
I'm more of a dark meat person. Yeah. I don't know if you like Boston Market. I love Boston Market.
I used to love Boston Market.
And they would be like, "Oh, do you want 3 sides or 2?" And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean, dude?"
All of the sides.
All the sides, dude. I want 3 sides.
Yeah. And plus, there is really only 3 sides to be had.
Which sides are you going with?
I'm going with mashed potatoes. I'm going with mac and cheese, and that's going to fuck my stomach up. And then I'm going with the cream spinach.
You're going with the cream spinach?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm going with the sweet potato yams.
Yeah, I never got on the sweet potato wagon.
Okay.
Or the truffle wagon. I put sweet potato and truffle in the same thing.
Okay. I would do cream. I would do the spinach one too. The spinach one. Do you do the cornbread? You take the cornbread? Do you dip the cornbred in the spinach?
Oh, in the gravy.
I was gonna say you didn't say gravy with the mash. You just said mash.
Oh, you have. I didn't. You didn't have to say gravy, or just assume that it was on there.
No, dude.
I also went into Boston Market maybe once as an adult. I would just order it, or it would be.
But do you normally have like mashed potato? You like mashed potato with gravy, or
I like mashed potatoes with gravy. Now this kind of segues. All right, we're not done yet, so we're going to recap. So buffalo mac and cheese.
Yeah, I went with the chicken. The dark. Yeah, and another one is and also been take home is Chinese food.
Oh man, those are 3 really strong
Chinese.
ones.
Chinese food, leftover Chinese food. Who doesn't like leftover Chinese food?
Why is it so good here in the Northeast?
A lot of Asians.
Yeah, but it's true. But why?
We have a lot of Asians here.
Yeah, but why is North Shore, Massachusetts Chinese food so good? Why can you put it up against New York City Chinese food? Can you?
I don't know if you. I don't know, man. That's a great question. I'm not prepared to answer that question because I haven't had.
Because the people are the Kowloon are listening.
Yeah, I know. I got some gigs over there. Yeah. Guys, New York. I don't know. I've never really had. I've had Korean barbecue in New York City for sure.
Okay.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Very different than Chinese food, though. I feel like Chinese food is its core staple of things.
I'm sorry, Koreans.
Yeah. Well, here in the United States, Chinese food is not. Chinese food is. They're cooking it for us Americans so that we can eat it and we'll enjoy it, but it's really a colorful and fresh and vibrant food scene. But it's been corrupted by us. Yeah, there's not that much. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know why it's better in the North Shore specifically. Maybe it's because when people immigrated here from like Italy and like Asia, they just came and was like the North Shore is cooler. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just know I've had the best Chinese food of my life on the North Shore.
Yeah, for sure. The North Shore of Massachusetts is like, we have better food.
Yeah.
We have better beaches, maybe not so much.
I think so.
I think we might have better beaches.
They're more scenic.
Yeah. The ladies?
Everything is just cleaner up on the North Shore. It feels like to me. Everything is just a little bit more dialed in.
You could definitely tell an individual that lives in the North Shore versus the South Shore. Like, I could definitely tell, like, women for sure. Like, a woman from the North Shore versus, like, a woman from the South Shore.
North Shore, nothing hanging from the rearview mirror in their car. South Shore, anything that's in their purse is hanging from the rearview mirror. Scrunchies, keys,
Yeah.
A lanyard.
Yeah. A lot of women wear hoodies.
South Shore, yeah.
South Shore.
And not in that
casual.
cute, and not in that cute, like I just worked out way, like I either got this from a dude or I stole it from, like it's not the right size.
No, it's not the right size. No, it's like their father, because he's like he's part of like the masonry.
Yeah, he's part of the union.
Yeah, he's like a union guy.
Yeah.
Probably from like Chase Plumbing.
Yeah.
From Hall, Mass.
Yeah. It's like, we experienced the same winter on both sides of the state, but why does it feel like down on the South Shore it's just a little bit colder?
It's a little colder. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I got to ask someone. Do you know anybody that lives down there? We could probably ask.
My whole family moved from the North Shore to the South Shore. I don't know.
Probably more land, maybe cheaper.
I think it was a work thing, but
Maybe
we don't
not.
have to get into that.
I said more land.
Nick, he doesn't care what it was for. Just run with the bet.
Yeah.
It was actually a job opportunity. Shut up. No, it's dialed in. I don't know. I think there is I just think there's a big Italian presence on the North Shore.
Oh, for sure.
And I just know Italians keep it locked down. The yard, the driveway, the front of the curb appeal of the homes.
Yep.
There's no leaves on the past a certain point.
There's a few statues in front of a house somewhere.
Lion statues, the fresh blacktop on the driveway, the edges of the grass are edged out. Everything is just tightened up.
Good concrete metrics.
Yes, stone. There's stones everywhere.
Yeah, Italians know their construction,
and Italians, quite frankly, take more pride in their food. They just have a more the South
part
Shore
of their livelihood.
Yeah,
is with Italians. I grew up with Italians all my life.
Yeah,
all types of Italian people.
Yep.
All my life. I listen. If I was an African, I'd be Italian.
I mean, there's some crossover there for sure.
Yeah, it's called colonization. Sorry, we were doing good, and then I don't want.
Got into it.
We had.
Hey, it happens. It happens. Those are solid leftovers, though. I have to say my top 3 leftovers. Number 1, I think the ultimate leftover. I'm not putting pizza up there, actually, because leftover pizza is fine, but it's meh.
It depends how you heat it.
Yeah.
If you do leftover pizza by a microwave, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
You
oven.
You got to do oven
yeah.
on a leftover pizza.
I'm going. So leftovers. Okay.
Yeah. What do you got?
Number 1, cold pasta is the best. I love cold pasta.
Oh.
I'll do a leftover lasagna or a leftover like rigatoni, whatever, just leftover pasta, period.
Any type of pasta.
So good. I don't reheat it. I leave it as is. And it's like a new appreciation I have for pasta.
So eat it cold?
Yeah, next morning, eat it cold. Delicious.
Out the fridge.
Out the fridge. I even put the cold grated cheese on top of it.
Cold pasta. I never had cold pasta.
Yeah, it's very good. Well, it's also an acquired taste too. I think after you've had so much fucking pasta like every other day, you're just like, oh, okay, cold now.
Yeah, we got to get back. No, at some point you got to do your restaurant reviews that you used to do with the Italian restaurants.
Okay, so Nicky Neighborhoods is coming back.
Okay, all right.
Nicky Neighborhoods is coming back.
I see it in your eyes. The branding
is almost finalized. Of course, I'm doing everything in the wrong order. The branding's finalized. The videos are shot. I'm kind of editing them, and I've seen more things on the street. I've gotten a new perspective traveling.
Good.
So I think I wanted to take my time and do it, but I love that. I love restaurant reviews. I love the nuance of all this, like things that you see out in the city, and that's what it's going to be about. So you'll hear more.
I can't wait to. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Cold,
because you were. Go ahead, Nikki.
No, go.
No, go ahead, Nikki.
He needs some milk.
I see you want to get this cold pasta out. You want me to know the
fucking cold pasta? I just had to get out.
I don't want you to miss anything. Go ahead.
It's a Middle Eastern food. I will have a Middle Eastern bowl, like rice, rice and lentils.
Okay.
From the next day. And then third, I would say I'll put pizza at third. Because there is some good pizza when you reheat it the next morning, or even if you do it cold, it's fine. All right. So those are my big three. Glad I got those out of the way.
Can I be honest with you? I think my list is a little cooler.
Yeah, your list is way better. The chicken is interesting. I think. What was last on that? So you had mac and cheese, chicken,
and then it was wow. Why am I having a brain fart right now? Mac and cheese, the chicken, and what? Chinese food.
Chinese food.
Yes.
Fuck it, you do it. Yeah. No. Middle Eastern food is the odd one out in that. Like good Middle Eastern food. The next day.
Like falafel.
Yeah, falafel, rice, tabbouleh, like halal food the next day.
Yeah.
But I do think Chinese food is just one of the. Chinese food is like bad Coke. Is it bad?
No.
Chinese food is like bad Coke the next day, or it's like...
No, I wouldn't go to the extent of saying that.
Because it's bad. It's like not good, but it's delicious.
Chinese food?
You don't feel good after you eat it.
Oh, I feel fantastic when I eat Chinese food. After? Absolutely. So let me give you my go-to Chinese food, or specifically...
Of course, yes.
If you don't mind. Right off the gate, salt and pepper shrimp.
Wow. Number one?
Salt and pepper shrimp, or salt and pepper shrimp. Chicken or pork fried rice. I'm going pork fried rice, number one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Boneless spare ribs.
Yep.
Crab ragoons.
I'm with you. You're hitting on classics. This is like the fucking Bruce Springsteen box set. You just banger after one.
Are we on a ESPN Classic channel right now? Like they used to show the old school 80s?
I wish.
I wish they had those back. They stopped doing those.
We used to have on the cable package NBA Classics, and you'd watch the fucking
old school series, right?
59 Celtics.
Right? Yeah.
Versus the Minneapolis Lakers.
I loved it. Because it would be like, I'll be up at like 1 in the morning. It'll just be having a game like that.
You can YouTube all these games. So you ever YouTube the old Bulls games?
Oh yeah.
Man, what a.
I YouTube anything that has to do with the NBA. I've YouTubed it.
Yeah.
Old slam dunk contest. 1991 with Sean Kemp and D Brown. I probably watched that 40 times.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Vince Carter ones were good too.
The Vince Carter one's good. The Dominique versus Michael Jordan 85 was good. 86 was good. I mean, the great thing about YouTube too, I'll go back to the food thing in a second. One of the great things about YouTube, it's like, you could literally go back and just like see what was before.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Anything and everything.
I mean, pretty much, right?
What are your top 3 YouTube things that you'll find yourself like if we went on your YouTube right now? What are the things that would pop up from category perspective?
Cocoa butter, how to put it on.
Fuck. Okay.
NBA stuff. Anything has to do with like NBA like sports stuff.
Yep.
For sure. And music. So like music. I go down like old school 70s soul. Like I try to find, you know what I try to do? I try to find like artists and singers from the back in the days that I don't know about. That have like certain songs that are like,
I was doing
so
that.
It's like let's say like I found one guy named Dorindo. Like he's like Dorindo or Durango. He's a black artist. He was like in the 70s, but his sound and his singing was like so like specific. And I like finding artists I've never heard of before, and you're just like, oh, wow, those type of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with some of that devil's lettuce, it can go.
You get deep in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You'll find like the ESPN talking head shows, all of them, sports shows.
Like
hot takes, hot takes. Because I don't have time to like.
You need quick.
I love sports, but I don't love sports like other people. Like fantasy, I'm not in fantasy sport. Like I don't really know a ton. I need the surface level. Give me the top 5 minutes of what's happening.
You need you're like Cliff Note guys.
Yeah, I need to know that Draymond Green was a fucking lunatic last game or whatever, and he almost got thrown. But I don't have to. I don't need to know the deeper issue. And then I do car detailing videos.
Oh,
I used to detail cars when I was a kid. That's how I first started working.
You're Lebanese,
Yep.
family owned a car dealership.
Did that.
Makes sense.
Did that. And then...
What would your car dealership company be called?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because I wouldn't have like Assad Chevrolet. I wouldn't. I would have to have it be like...
Can I give you one?
Yeah.
Persian Prince Carpets.
It's a little aggressive, and I don't know. Carpets in a car dealership name might be a little misleading.
Okay. Rough draft. It's a rough draft.
Yeah. I don't know actually if auto dealerships have...
Will you do only luxury cars? Details? I feel like you'd be a little bougie. You'd be like only do luxury cars.
I get what you're saying. If I had a detailing business. Oh, a detailing business.
Did I say something?
You said like a car dealership. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Car dealerships.
I meant sorry. Yeah.
A detailing. Okay, that's for sure.
I could see you.
Nicky Wipes or like well, I'm just Nicky Spit Shines or like something that's like a little fun. Fun, tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Nicky Wipes is good.
Nicky Wipes is good. Yeah. Nicky Sparkles.
Nicky
Sparkles might be it. And I would only do, I want the high end stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want someone's mini because it's light work. High end stuff is light work. It's just those cars have fucking glossy paint. Like you just spray everything down and wipe it down and it's good to go. The mom of five now. The mom of five who's got the Honda Odyssey, the 2012 Honda Odyssey with the TVs that come down.
You don't want it?
No, that's a 4-hour job. I'm all set. I'm good. I've done those.
Because you know what's going to happen if, like, when you do a detail of a mom with a van of that many kids, you know she's coming back to you, right? Not to say thank you.
There's an issue.
You
forgot this. You forgot that. I'm out. I'm good. So the car detailing videos. Yeah. And then
what else?
God, Kitchen Nightmares episodes. Have you ever watched Kitchen Nightmare?
No, what's that?
Kitchen Nightmare is you know who Gordon Ramsay is?
Yeah, go know Gordon.
So So he has a show called Kitchen Nightmares where he goes into a restaurant, sits down, and then eats a meal, and then talks about everything that's wrong with the restaurant, and he helps them turn it around.
So kind of like a bar rescue.
Exact same thing. Totally the exact same thing.
Okay.
He was first though. He did Kitchen Nightmares first. Okay. So like they would go to places like they went to like Barnacle Bill's, I think, in the South Shore. It's like like a seafood restaurant in the South Shore. They've done a couple.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah, it is kind of a cool name.
Barnacle Bill's?
Yeah.
Shout out to Barnacle Bill's.
Yeah, that might be a good detailing name too.
Maybe we should get them to sponsor this podcast.
I don't think they're still in business. A lot of those places go out of business like shortly after he shoots the show.
I guess they weren't that good.
It's just these people that buy restaurants and have no experience running a restaurant. It's actually shocking how many people own restaurants but don't have restaurant experience.
Yeah. Well, that's why a large percentage of the people who own restaurants, it fails within the first like 2 years.
Yeah, because they have no clue.
Yeah.
So he goes and they're like, yeah, this is my restaurant, Barnacle Bill's. Like, you're going to love the food. He's like, what would you rate the food? It's like 10 out of 10. And the guy's like, yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm not like, a connoisseur like you. And then you're just like hooked on these episodes because you're like, how dumb. This man has 3 Michelin star or whatever. He's got like 17 Michelin stars in his career. It's like, what the fuck do you expect him to say? And so he just rips these guys. He's just like, this is disgusting. So I watched that a lot. Okay. And then
so you got a food network,
food, car detailing,
and what was it?
Sports. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a boom triangle offense.
Yeah, it covers most of my bases.
That's usually the pretty typical. Those are like the standard elements of a man.
Yeah.
Sports, food.
Cars,
and
then watches, and then the fourth thing you'll find is I watch watch influencers, people that sell watches.
You know who's a good? I'll introduce you to him when he comes to Boston. My friend Dean Del Rey.
Oh yeah, I know Dean. I don't know Dean, but I know of Dean.
You know of him, yeah. And great guy. I've known him for years. Brought him over to Boston, to perform here. And he's always been a good dude. But Dean is one of these individuals, one of the only individuals that I know that is very, very like good at picking quality stuff. Like he's very detailed. He doesn't have a lot of things, but the things that he has are like the best quality
Made to last.
shit. Yeah, made to last. And he's very, very he knowledgeable in watches. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, he's very knowledgeable in watches, and just I gotta get him on this. He's
like music.
Oh, music.
He knows
forget it.
music back to front. He's one of those like not cinephile. That's movies, but like audiophile.
Yeah,
He's just someone who knows like
Dean. Yes, yeah, because Dean Del Rey was in a before he became a comedian. He was in a band. He had his own band.
yeah,
rock
okay.
band.
Yeah, that's right. I think I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he was singing. I mean, Dean's a little older, but he has his own rock band. I think he was like 20 years, 25 years in the music business.
Yeah.
So he has a wide range of friendships and networks and all that. He used to open up for he opened up for the Stones, Metallica. Like, I mean, he's such a fun, like, you want to talk about a man of like that needs to write an autobiography. He's one of them.
He's so interesting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The podcasts I've heard with him on there, I was kind of like, man, this guy's interesting.
He has a good podcast. It's called Let There Be Talk.
Yeah.
And
I've only listened to him on other people's podcasts.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And opens up for Bill Burr, Russell Peters. I mean, he's a Comedy Store guy. We actually did a podcast, me and Randy, on my other podcast at the Comedy Store. And he actually made that happen. He connected it, and we were in LA. We were like, hey, let's do a podcast. He's like, let's do it at the Comedy Store. And I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to do what?
It's like fucking, just come to Mecca. It's like, good God.
This is the thing, man. Like because we were new comics at the time. I wasn't, I was probably like maybe like 4 or 5 years in maybe at the time. Still fucking green as hell. I'm still green. But dude, I don't know, man. That was one of the moments I was like, oh, I'm in the fucking room where Richard Pryor is in, dude.
Yeah.
Robin Williams is in. The echoes of like the
spirits and the ghosts.
Yeah, it's just like a feeling, man. You're just like, oh my God, there's so much history in this fucking walls.
Yep.
And I could feel it.
Yep.
It was like a thing, But anyways, long story, boring. That's a Brent Ernst thing. Love when I say that. Yeah, Dean Del Rey, guys, check him out. But watches. That's good. Those are good choices, dude.
I
Simple,
think
not over the top.
I have something for you. You said you're looking to read more, and I would suggest there's this thing called The Hustle.
The Hustle?
The Hustle,
Yeah.
or something like The Hustle. The Hustle is a daily email that you get that runs down everything that's going on in finance and tech.
Okay.
So if I have no idea, like if I'm not trying to go and read a bunch of books or watch the news, I'll just read The Hustle and know what's going on with, this Twitter acquisition or why the rental market is so crazy right now. And it sums it up in a short amount of time. It's a longer email. It's, like 1 or 2 pages.
Yeah.
But they have that with other things as well.
Bro, can I ask you a question? Do you think, like, a lot of people say, like, audiobooks is a way to what do you think about the audiobook thing?
I've listened to many audiobooks.
Do you feel like a trader when you do audiobooks? Because I feel like
you don't retain as much. When you read and write, you retain it. I found that when I've wrote out something that I'm trying to remember, I'll remember it no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
But when I try to listen it's just a little bit harder.
I know. I've heard you on the podcast.
Yep. Okay. All right. We're not friends now.
That's your podcast.
That's the podcast that I completely wiped from the internet. It wasn't even that bad. I mean, there were
How many episodes did you do?
20 something.
So it was a good practice thing to get a feel.
Yeah.
And now you know what you want to do. And
it was fun until it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually kind of how it goes in this game.
It was fun until it wasn't.
But the good thing that I feel like for me, that I observed from that experience for you is that you actually recognized it and did something about it when it needed to be done versus kind of still doing it and getting more probably unhappy with it and probably getting more bitter with it and So it's actually a good thing because in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people they let the wheels turn too long. You know, they don't hit the brakes soon enough. And it's actually good that you recognized it. You felt it. You recognized it. You're like, let me take a step back. Let me revamp. Let me see how I want to do it. Boom. Instead of doing like 50 or 100 episodes, and now you probably like waste like a year and a half. And you're just like, ugh, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you got to just figure out, because I had a friend who reached out to me and he goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, what? He goes, "I listened to the last episode of your podcast."
Yeah.
He goes, "And I haven't listened to many episodes."
Well, thanks for that. Thanks.
I got a kid. I'm busy. I'm like, yeah, no, I know. I understand.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you just don't sound happy. He's like, you don't sound like you're enjoying this thing that you're doing.
It was being like, it could have,
it
was being felt by like,
Oh yeah. He was like, yeah. And it's a little kind of like, what the fuck? What am I listening to? And I feel like there's so many.
When he said that at the time, did you have like a certain resistance to it?
No.
Or did you be like, oh, I do feel that?
No, I take feedback. I don't want to hear good feedback. I like good feedback. Like someone saw my old Nicky Neighborhoods stuff on TikTok and texted. It was a friend of my girlfriend. And texted my girlfriend the screenshot of like, this kid is fucking hilarious. Seeing that, I was like, okay, I need to go hard on that. This is just confirmation. But when someone says to me like, you know, you're stretching with that bit, that's not who you are. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. I'm not going to be one to like, if I know I did something fucked up and the first person that gives me that feedback, I'm like, yep, no, you're right. This is exactly what I thought it was.
So would you say like, that's actually a good thing that you brought up, because if we can talk about it for a second, right? Because when you're saying that, what I'm registering, what's coming to my mind is that, and I kind of have this too, and maybe you can kind of like give me your advice on it. There's times that, not a lot, but before, I would have constant type of battles, mental battles with like saying to myself, how authentic are you being in these moments, right? And when I don't feel that I am, I feel really, really like bad. Like I feel like, you know, so the battle of that, because it's weird, because there's other comics I think differently, right? There's some that are just like, hey man, just fucking, it's all fun. Like, doesn't matter. Like, you know, whatever, fucking hack it up or, you know, just lean into something, you know? Was it more of like a battle?
Yeah. Oh God.
Like did you have like, or
I just said to myself,
like, you just, okay, this is not me. I got to change it. Like, boom.
I said to myself, what the fuck am I? Well, so there's two things, right?
Yeah.
The first thing for me was like, what is your thing? What is your shtick?
That takes time.
Yeah, no, that definitely takes time. But I felt like I knew my thing was kind of like, I'm not fully clean, but I'm also not super edgy. You know,
I would say I'm the same way.
You know, I'm not like, I would say you are. Yeah. But I'm not that like, I'm not trying to dive into like really fucked up shit. Like that's not my view, my perspective. I know that it's out there and like, I don't know. So the first thing was like my voice of like, what is this doing for me? How am I portraying myself and what is the thing for me?
Sure.
And the second thing was I kind of just looked at like how I looked at the guests that I would have on that show and how nervous I was.
Right.
And then I mean this with the utmost respect to whoever was on my podcast.
I was.
Yeah. This is mainly about you. And how after I spoke with them, how I was like, what am I nervous about? There was no one that I spoke to on that podcast that I felt like super outsmarted by, or like not even that, but just like the nerves going into it, where I was like, I don't know. For example, like there's this comedian. His name is Anjan, and you might know him from the Boston comedy scene, but he like moved or a bunch of stuff.
Never heard of him.
Okay, this smirk, the fuck. And I don't know, but so I got into it. I don't really know the
No, I'm
comics.
just kidding.
I don't know. You know Anjan.
Yeah, of course I know.
He's awesome. He's really funny. He's actually incredibly friendly to new comedians. Again. So this is why it was really interesting to me to do a podcast about whatever, finding friends, or like, interviewing people and then figuring out, would we be friends? It was just kind of a bizarre, I'm like, what am I asking these questions? Why am I having these conversations? But through that, I just learned that like people just like to talk about themselves and they just like to have a connection with someone.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing I took away from it. But there were times where I was like, oh my God, speaking of this person, and then I get them on the phone, I'm like, this person's not.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but also like, what the fuck? Why am I?
Why are you nervous? Yeah. I'll be honest with I with the whole comic, the whole nervous thing, like that area, it's like I never really kind of thought of. I don't possess those particular like things. Like I don't get
neurosis.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I can like literally ask someone like, yo, you want to be on my podcast? And like, just like, I just always been like that. I never had any fear, never got really nervous about like doing something. And that probably stems from just being fucking failing thousands of times in my life. And just being like, this is the thing. Once you just become numb of like failing, you just look at it as just another thing. Like it's just, you really just become numb to like that. Like you just don't, what I mean? Like you just, and it happens over time. You just kind of, keep doing it. But yeah, it's all good. And then but I've heard your podcast before, the last one, like episodes. You're fine. You know how to talk. You have good language, good verbiage. You have an idea like what you want to talk about. And also you have to understand too, it's like the first things you ever did.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you ever did. You're never going to really like hit it out the park the way you want.
No. And
podcasting also takes time. And on my other podcast, we always used to say, man, this is just like a conversation that we're just having.
Yeah.
And people hopefully enjoy it, but it's really just for us.
Yeah.
And then like, it's just, we're in our own space and we're just talking shit and we're just saying things. There's things that we're going to not remember for sure. There's going to be things that we're going to say that are like funny. There's going to be things that may not be funny. I mean, what else do people really like? How much can you be hard on yourself for based on a conversation? Right,
I can tell you right now a lot. You don't have to go down that rabbit hole.
Niggas like,
before reporting, I'm like, you none of this made fucking sense, and now you're gonna go and you're gonna go, oh, should we be friends? You fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I would go down that rabbit hole, and then I'd be like, I mean, you can ask Ani and Irish of Too Much Content. Shout out to Too Much Content.
Shout out to Too Much Content Studios.
They had to deal with my pre and post show. Also, it was just me alone.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast. And I'm not good on my own in that sense. Like I could certainly steer. I like to kind of steer,
Well, you're one of those individuals. I think like you need like
I need a little feedback. I need a little feedback. I need a little
little
disagree with me. Let's have a comment. Yeah. But no, I don't know. I want to. There's so many podcasts out right now that it's not new and groundbreaking anymore. So what is so new and groundbreaking and what people love is just literally just an original idea that the person who's on the other end doing the podcast, you clearly know that it's them, it's authentic, and they enjoy doing it, and they're consistent with it. And I'm like, I'm not going to be consistent about making fucking friends with open micers and making it feel into like I'm not excited about that. Like that's why did I do this?
Well, let me just kind of say this about the whole making friendship.
Yeah.
Right. And this is like
on a podcast, I mean.
On a okay.
No. Not like
not in general. Like,
no, yeah. Right. I just was kind of like using the podcast to kind of network in the and I'm just like but you get what I'm saying? I was just like, this is not interesting. I didn't find it interesting at a certain point. I was kind of just getting the same answers and like
interesting always is like I was always told like interesting is way more is way more of a currency in this business. And forget about being business, just in life.
Yeah.
Like this podcast specifically, right? Cut to Chase podcast, right? Where we do it together, right? I find you interesting. That's why I asked you to be on the podcast. Okay. any guest that I book on this podcast is only on it for this sole purpose alone, is because I think that they're interesting to talk to. I don't give a fuck how famous you are. I don't care, what level you are in comedy. I don't care what you do. The common denominator for me, are you an interesting individual, and can this conversation be interesting? Period. And that's it. And then you just you just kind of just do your thing, just be you, find you, and, but there's always people that, but I'm happy that, I'm very glad that you took a step back, reset it, game plan. Now you have an idea what you want to do, and we're going to roll that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm excited.
We're going to roll it out. But overall, I want to say thank you for helping me with this podcast. You've been, phenomenal. Hopefully it's been fun for you.
Absolutely.
Just lower down the energy a little bit. Jesus, Nicky.
Super excited.
Guys, we're gonna get up on out of here, man. It was a quick episode today. Glad that you guys tuned in. Guys, follow me in the podcast at Chase Abel. That's my Instagram, social media. Everything's there. ChaseAbel on Instagram. www.chaseabel.com website. I have some dates. I'll be at Capo Comedy. I'll be doing spots at Capo Restaurant in South Boston. I'll be doing stand-up comedy June 8th. So I'll be there this Wednesday. I'll also be there June 15th, next Wednesday. And I also will be there July 1st. So those are dates. If you're in Boston, if you listen to this podcast, you can come see me do some stand-up there. I have some other dates as well. I just don't have it specifically in hand, but I'll post it on my Instagram. You guys can find it there. Nicky, what do you got?
Oh, nothing. I might be tailing you to Capo. I haven't been out in a while, so
come on, man.
Panama Assad. Follow us on YouTube, please. We're up to 5 subscribers.
Heck, fucking
we're up to what the heck, man.
I sometimes come back.
That was
goddamn heck yeah, Billy.
Oh my god. I was gonna throw mayonnaise at me. Hack bit. Check us out on YouTube for Christ's sake, because we're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year.
95 away, baby.
Yeah, I think I said 50, but we need to get up to 100. Okay, let's move this along here.
God's sake, let's move this thing for Nicky.
Let's monetize this. Follow us.
Please, Cut to Chase Podcast. We're out. Peace.